Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you are new here. It is great to have you. My name is Kristen Freeman, and on my channel we talk about all things home, motherhood, church, Christ, all the things that encompass all the things that I love. We also have some guides for vacations and all kinds of fun things, holiday gift guides, all of that. So I am so glad to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about one of the topics that I am so passionate about, and that is books. I am a teacher of 10 years. I have a bachelor's degree in education, and I also have training in Orton Gillingham for struggling and dyslexic readers. So I am super passionate about literacy, about making reading fun, exciting, all the things that make reading come alive for children. So today we're going to be talking about my top picks for the Christmas season. What kids' books are my favorite? Some you will definitely remember. Some are the classics, and some are just my favorites, and I think really display the meaning of Christmas. And so I'm going to give you my top picks. All the books that I can find will be linked below, so you will have the links to that. Let's go ahead and dive in. All right, number one is, of course, starting off with a classic, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is in my top three of Christmas stories. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. You can see I've got my Grinch picture right up there in the background. I love the Grinch. I love the story of the Grinch. I love how he changes. We love all the Grinch movies. We do a Grinch movie night every year. I love the Grinch. So How the Grinch Stole Christmas is definitely one of my favorites. Love the original artwork. All the fun things. I am a huge Dr. Seuss story fan anyway. The Cat in the Hat. Green Eggs and Ham, like those are all favorites. So How the Grinch Stole Christmas is going to be my very first pick that I'm going to do. And then in that same vein, I have two others that go along with that. And that is I Am Cindy Lou Who and I Am Max. So if you have a Grinch lover in your home and they can't get enough of Grinch, these two are really fun ones to add as well. They also have an I Am the Grinch, which I do not have, but I do definitely want to get as well. But these kind of tell parts of the Christmas story or parts of being around the Grinch with their perspective. So like I Am Max, when we come home, it's breakfast time. The Grinch eats his and I eat mine. After breakfast, I often chew on an antler. I have a few. And so he's kind of goes through and just tells the story a little bit from his perspective, some things that he does. I Am Cindy Lou Who, same thing. We hang wreaths for all to see. We hang stockings, 1, 2, 3. We wrap presents, and every who knows, presents need boxes and ribbons and bows. So it kind of just tells the story and different parts of Christmas from their perspective, so you get to see them a little bit more. So those are my Grinch picks. Also, if you have honorable mention over here for the Grinch, two honorable mentions for the Grinch is the Grinchmas book. And we have used this one so many times that my buttons are not working. But this one has the little, icons. And when they see that, they push it up here and it makes the noise. Really great for keeping kids engaged in the story. And then also a new one that we read this year that I had not read before was How the Grinch Lost Christmas, which is kind of the next year after the Grinch. It's like a sequel. And he's all consumed with showing everybody how much he's changed, that he loses the real meaning of Christmas. And that's a really fun one. It's not as good as the first one, not as good as the classic, but it is really good. So I would recommend that one as well. All right. If you have a Disney lover in your life, I recommend the My First Bedtime Storybook or the 5-minute stories if they're a little bit older. This one is geared definitely toward like 1, 2, 3-year-olds. My son definitely still loves this one. The stories are getting a little bit short for my daughter. So she kind of helps us read these now. So, but we have the My First Christmas Bedtime Stories. These all take about 2 to 3 minutes. It comes with 6 stories inside. 101 Dalmatians, Little Mermaid, Winnie the Pooh, Mickey and Friends, Sleeping Beauty, and Cars. So these are really good for Christmas stories for those wiggle worms who can't sit still for long stories. All right. Up next are 2 classics that I think everybody needs to have in their collection, and that is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman. Both of these are wonderful. I absolutely love them. They go with that classic artwork. And so they're really great if you want to not watch the movie yet. If your kids are not into Rudolph, but you're like, I really want to have that nostalgic Christmas feeling. These are really great. So Rudolph and Frosty are on my list of books I feel like everybody needs to have. Up next, the Pout Pout Fish. the not very merry Pout Pout Fish. So this one is a fun one. He is looking for presents for his friends and he can't decide on the perfect gift and he feels like nobody's going to like it if he doesn't get them the perfect thing. And he has to learn a few lessons along the way. So if you are a fan of the Pout Pout Fish series, there's the Worry Worry Whale, the Pout Pout Fish, and the Big Big Dark, the Pout Pout Fish Goes to School, the original Pout Pout Fish. So if you like those, you'll like this one. All right, next up, another one for those wiggle worms is Don't Push the Button Christmas Edition. If you're familiar with the Don't Push the Button books, you know there is a button in every story and you're not supposed to push it. And then eventually he'll like convince you to push it or he will push, or he'll be like, oh, don't push the button. Okay, let's push it. And so when you do, bad things start happening. So this is a good one for actions and consequences too. If you really want to make it fun, that he told you not to push the button and you did, and then look, now he's green. So this is always a fun one to kind of add in on the importance of listening if you want to add in that lesson, or if you just want to do silly. Usually we just go with the silly version, but if you want to just kind of have some fun, like don't push the button, don't push it. Are you gonna push it? Okay, go ahead and push it. And then we gotta just turn the page. So this is a really fun one for those wiggle worms. All right, let's go with my last few that I have here in front of me. I am a huge fan of Elf. It's my favorite Christmas movie. I know people either love it or hate it. There's no in between, but I love Elf. And so this is the kid version of the story. I don't know if I can link this one below. I will link, they had a newer version, which we also have, but I'm not seeing it under my bed. So I'm going to have to check again for that. But this one is really fun if you are an Elf lover, for sharing that story with your kids before they're ready to watch that movie. It kind of tells the story in a little bit of a kid-friendly way so that they can understand. So another nostalgia one. Continuing with nostalgia, A Charlie Brown Christmas is next up on the list. This one is exactly like the movie. So if you either don't have the movie or didn't get to watch it, or you just want to go through it twice, this one is exactly like the movie. It tells the story of Christmas, the real meaning of Christmas, why we celebrate, all the things. It is so great. The artwork in this particular one, this is the Kohl's Cares book. I'm not sure if they have this one this year. I think they did. I'm pretty sure I saw Snoopy, but the Kohl's Care one was really, really good for this one. All right. This book is so good, and that is the Berenstain Bears Joy of Giving. This one really, really reminds kids of the meaning of Christmas, why we give presents, what is so important about Christmas. All the things are encompassed in this little story. It is really, really good. I got this one from Hobby Lobby last year for $5.99. I think they had it again this year. But I will link it below if I can find it on Amazon as well. But this one, I'll just read you like a page or two from the story. They go through, they're having the Christmas play and all of this, and it says, peeking out of the camel costume, tears came to sister and brother's eyes. It seemed that they had never understood the joy of giving until that moment. All the gifts of all the Christmases of all the years went back to those first gifts given to that tiny baby long ago. And this one is just a really good way of saying we give gifts because Christ was given to us because we are sinners. And so this one is a really good way of just sharing that reason behind why we give gifts at Christmas time. Continuing along with that thought is God Gave Us Christmas. This story is really good for explaining why do we celebrate Christmas. And it all starts with who invented Christmas? Mama's answer only leads to more questions. Like, is God more important than Santa? And so whether you celebrate Christmas by doing Santa or not in your home, this story is really good. And I love the fact that it honors all traditions. So if you celebrate Santa, it does not rain on that parade. If you do not celebrate Santa, it does not clap you on the back or anything. It's just very neutral. And it goes over the fact that no matter what you believe about Christmas, that Christ is the most important reason for the season. And I really, really love that about this story. It goes through and she takes him to all these different places and reminds him of why we have Christmas and that Christ loves us. And though this one is a really, really good one. God Gave Us Christmas. All right. final one on my list is my all-time favorite Christmas pick. And if my husband were around, he would laugh right now because it is Max Lucado's The Crippled Lamb. And the reason I said he would laugh is because we read it every year, and every year I cry on the same 3 pages of that story. But I love The Crippled Lamb. It is such a good story. We have read it to our daughter for 5 Christmases now, and my son, has heard it the last 3, and it is just such a good story for talking about differences and how God created us with a purpose and all of those conversations that you want to have with your kids. It is such a great way of introducing those topics. It is about a little lamb who is crippled in one of his legs, and so he is not able to go with the other sheep. And I know that this one has become a little controversial because of the fact that it is called the Crippled Lamb, but you definitely could change the wording around a little bit if you wanted to. But the message of the story is amazing. And that is that even though you are different, even though maybe there's something about you that you don't like or that you wish would change and was different, that God created you with a purpose and a plan. And so I really love the message of that book, and it's a great way for discussing differences and diversity with children. It's a really good opening point for you to have that conversation. All right, so these are my top picks as a mom, as an educator. I absolutely love all of these stories. I will link them below. I am an Amazon partner, so if you purchase through my links, it will earn me a small commission, but I will drop them below for searching, making it easier for you. But those are my top picks. Hopefully, if you enjoyed this video, you will like, subscribe, follow along. We're going to be having all kinds of fun Christmas things coming up, so I will see you next time. Goodbye.